What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 3 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tzarina Katarin campaign. So as we saw last time, we moved into the northern mountains of Morn, or Northern World's Edge Mountains, rather, and have taken out Azag's faction for good. I think this was good to do early, as they would have otherwise been a thorn in our side, constantly attacking us, where we are less likely, let's say, to defend. It also does mean we have some territories that are going to be relatively difficult to reach for some enemies, potentially, and we can hopefully sort of combine our defenses with those of Kadrin to our south. And this time around, we'll be moving on to the Silver Pinnacle to grab this as a bastion to hold off anything moving in from the Darklands, and then moving northward towards the Goramadni tribe and whatever else we can capture of the territories here. And do have to watch out for the destruction of the Great Orthodoxy, and we gotta make sure we send some heroes around. We do need to increase our capacity of Frost Maidens, or possibly Patriarchs, as we do want to, as you guys have suggested, find Mr. Boris Ursus up north as fast as possible. It's going to be also a while before we reach Mother Ostankia, but we are on the way with Mikhaila Fedokova here, Fedokova, whatever, and hopefully she can find a few nice trading partners for us as well. Probably have her actually move this way, not up the river right, as I was originally thinking, but if we move her this way, we could pass by Ulthuan and possibly get trade agreements with a lot of the elves there, assuming that they don't get obliterated by the time we're around there. I'm interested to see what the overworld sort of dynamic will be with this particular SFO update, which which factions have a tendency to win, etc, etc, etc. Anyway, Tzarina Katarin, we're going to march stance you, I guess. Yeah, march stance you as close to the Silver Pinnacle as possible, right here. Right here. And we'll probably just trade Nashrak's lair away. So the dwarf says it doesn't serve too much purpose. Just out of curiosity, though, do dyes do anything crazy for us? Income from markets plus 2% all regions faction-wide. That is nice, but this is the capital province of the dwarf, so I think we can forego the single single dyes thing. We will want to join some units together. I'm disinclined to get rid of any of the HUSSARS because we're not going to delete them. We're probably just going to transfer them to this army once we're over there, so that we can replace them with armored HUSSARS and whatever else we can get Tzarina Katarin. So I think we'll join the Kislevite warriors instead, like so. And we'll pop you in here to replenish the troops. And hopefully it'll be sufficient replenishment to hit the Silver Pinnacle next turn. There we go, a little bit better. Also, there's been like a dozen suggestions for Snow Leopard names. I'm gonna just take the first one for now. You'll be Tzarina's Fang. And we're going to have an army with a bunch of these guys. I might even make an army with like almost all snow leopards, just to see how it works. I mean, there's also the potential of combining them with things in the woods, but also the potential of just a pile of snowcats together, which might be fun. See what heights we can take them to, considering they're a relatively cheap unit, though we do have to get them some healing as they are relatively low in HP and thus relatively fragile. They're also small models, which means they should be able to rip through infantry piles and stuff like that with high numbers really, really quickly. Certainly an interesting idea, not something I've tried before with Kislev. But anyway, Tzarina Katarin, you're going to stay here. You're going to hold on to your points because you're waiting till level 12. Is there anything else that we want to do this particular turn? Oh, there is one thing. Somebody pointed out in the comments that we got another ancillary, the Veteran Warrior, which gives recruit rank. And since we're only recruiting on Vladimir Mikheyev right now, you can have the Veteran Warrior. And I guess the Gleaming Pennant, since we can't carry two on Katarin's army. All right, the rest of that looks good to me. Skip. We don't have enough money, unfortunately, to start more Ice Court training, but we'll do so shortly. Yeah, you know what? Another reason that it would be good to move through this territory is we can steal tech from, like, the orcs and stuff, and whoever's over here. Rather than, you know, not stealing tech from anybody, as that was originally a tech thief hero. Anyway, skip unassigned skill points, end the turn. Let's see if both of the armies of the Silver Pinnacle move here, because then we might be able to fight them on the field, and that would be a little bit better. Also, while the turn is ending, we will be doing, I forgot whether I said this last time, we'll be doing a threshold sort of thing for the hour-long episode in this campaign, like in all other campaigns, or at least in most of the recent campaigns. So if we get 400 likes and, let's say, 60 comments, the next episode of this campaign will be an hour long as well, and if we drop below that, we'll do the standard sort of 30-ish minutes episodes. In addition to that, since this is sort of the starting point of the campaign, if we continue the streak for episode 3 and, let's say, episode 4, maybe I'll do 2 episodes. For episode 5, or 5 and 6, I guess, on, like, Wednesday or something. Seems like the way to do it. Anyway, looks like this guy just sits out here rather than moving to the Silver Pinnacle, which is a bit unfortunate, because it means that we'll have to besiege the place again.
Bring me flesh to craft.
Because we don't have that siege attacker. Wait, you don't have siege attacker, do you? No, you don't. And Tzarina Katarin has no mount as yet, or at the very least she has the war horse, but it's... The Warbear doesn't offer siege attacker, so only the Frostworm does, so we need to be rather leveled at rank 18 for that. Who are you at war with? Ah, you're at war with Karakadrin, that's perfect. Ooh, actually, Karakadrin. Let's do this. Nashrak's Lair to you. For... We can do a defensive alliance. Ah, man, they would have given us a lot of money for it. Wait, out of curiosity. If we ask you to join the war against Lamian... that won't give us much. Give us some money for it, though. Alright, fine, we'll do this. Give us the money. This will weaken the faction a little bit, but, well, what can you do? If they get destroyed by something, then we'll take their territories. And then we'll give you back Nashrak's Lair for a defensive alliance. I don't want the military variant, because I don't want them getting us into a war preemptively with, like, Vlad or Skarsnik or somebody else. Anyway. Defensive alliance, plus this will give us a vision of their faction, which will be quite nice, as well as it allow us to keep an eye on anything south of our territories, at least in the mountains, and just generally what's going on there. Anyway, Tzarina Katarin, besiege Silver Pinnacle if you would. Like so, Pyrrhic victory, but we cannot attack, so we will build some stuff, like so. Maybe they will attack us in the field. Well, we'll see. We'll see. See if this guy moves in. Would be nice. I somehow doubt it, but the possibility exists. Anyway, this army is still not doing too much out here. I think because they started fighting the Chaos Dwarfs, they're sort of backing off, but that doesn't mean that we're going to not do anything with your army, though I suppose we can just keep it here without recruiting for a few turns, as we probably would be better off getting our econ up and running to a greater degree. So Market Square here, or Merchant Traders. Do we want the Orthodoxy Church here? I mean, I would like to replace it here to get more money stuff. However, wait. And this would give us recruitment cost reduction and growth as well. Ooh, I do like the additional growth that it offers. Do we have any more markets? No, they're all level 2 here. We can upgrade you to tier 1, or tier 2 rather, but we'll do so when Tzarina Katarin gets here because she can have those units. For now, it's not super necessary. Our growth is quite low in this territory, which is a little bit of a problem. I guess we could upgrade this thing. The taverns, doubling the growth and a little bit of control. Yeah, it's fine, we'll do that. I'm nickel and diming a little bit, as everything is quite expensive here. At least in the early game. I think we can hold off upgrading the Orthodoxy Chapel for now, just to save a little bit of cash. I really wanted to get the Grand Citadel up and running. Or wait, no. The Temple of Ursun for the growth and control in Kislev itself. Because the faster it grows, we needed to reach tier 4 as fast as possible so that we can get Ice Guards, since Tzarina Katarin gets them at 40% off. I guess we'll upgrade this thing for the additional growth for now. And that's basically all of our money. Alright, well, not much more to do than that, but taking a few extra turns isn't the worst thing in the world once again, as it'll allow the enemies to grow a little bit stronger. And we'll keep on moving.
Blizzard's embrace.
And also, diplomacy. Let's just double check if there's any new trading partners. Eastern River Lords. Ostermark wants a defensive alliance, but they'll probably get killed by Draika. Averland isn't having a particularly good time, but for military access, they are willing to give us some money, so we'll take the money. And that looks like that's it. Alright, don't want to bother confederating Druzhina enclaves, so we will just hold off on doing so, unless they capture more territory, or at least decent territory. I also noticed that Throt has lost Helpit, but in turn he's taken Zoyshenk, Fort Stroghoff, and Castle... well, no, Castle Alexandrinov is still Brotherhood of the Bear, but these guys better not lose Erengrad. I'd like to take it at a high level from them when we confederate. End turn. Alrighty, let's see what we've got. Dirk Lichmore Zacharias, will you strike at us? Or will you sit there and die? I don't know where in the order the Silver Pinnacle is. Or the Lamian Sisterhood is. No, they're not going to attack us. Okay, well, it looks like we'll have ourselves another siege battle. Saberskin have been destroyed, but we don't really care about that. They're in the mountains of Morn here. Ally begins outpost construction. Great for Ally. And that's about it. Just double checking on the armies of the Goromadni tribe, but I don't see them once again, or yet. We're coming back. Anyway, away we go to the Silver Pinnacle. Close victory and low casualties. Now, they really don't have a lot of stuff here. And a little bit concerned, admittedly, about the damage that we'd take. On the other hand, is this a worthy fight for us? We could just sort of skip by this little mini-fight and then just go forward to better fights. Just that a bunch of skeletons and stuff is a little bit weak. Yeah, and I think we can auto-resolve it. Hopefully it doesn't too heavily damage... Ooh, wait, actually. No, there isn't enough. Okay. I was double-checking whether there was corruption here that would damage us. Let's do this. I knew it would damage Tzarina's Fang, but that's fine, especially now that we have our... Patriarch in here. Edge Wizard, another Scroll of Armor, well, another just based off other campaigns. You have the Scroll of Power. I guess we can give the Scroll of Aramar to the Frost Maiden, like so. You will need to level replenish troops immediately, and then we'll get Versen's Roar and other stuff afterwards. And Healer needs rank 20, but that's just cooldown for Saliak's Lullaby, which is at... wait. Oh, we can, okay, well, we'll still get the replenished troops just because we're damaged, but gotta sort of book it towards that thing ASAP. We also have to leave the territory, unless this guy attack us, but it's just a bunch of skeletons and stuff anyway. It's certainly gonna be weaker than a bunch of Gobos and Orc Boys. Michaela, or Mikhaila, you go this way. All the way to Mother Ostankia. And then back to Econ. Let's see what we got. Another market here, 1470, bit on the expensive side, but what can you do? No more markets here. Kislev, you're fine, and perhaps it would be time to save up money for that Temple of Ursun. I would also like to see... okay, so we got extra hero capacity +1 for Frostbane, so we need Ice Court Discipline or something else that would do the same thing. I guess it's only Ice Court Discipline. Yeah, we need to increase the capacity to send one out, or once again, Patriarch capacity. How do we increase Patriarch capacity? Is it tier 3? Yes, it is. Okay, so it's just building... oh, even tier 2 will do it. Okay, so we could just send a Patriarch up there rather than the Frost Witch. We just need another one of these Orthodoxy shrines up and running. Alright, that's fine. Wait, does this thing increase Patriarch capacity as well? At tier 2? I wasn't gonna build you because I wanted the Palace for growth, though. Or the Ursun Shrine. Alright, let's build the Hunting Lodge, and let's upgrade the Orthodoxy Chapel here in Kazid Irkulaz. Maybe not the best choice, but this way we get a Patriarch to send to Boris Ursus. A Garrison Lord not-moved and assigned skill points, that's fine. Garrison Lord, do you gaining mana? You are not. Sit outside Kislev. If you get a oh wait. How much extra money do you cost us? About 100 extra gold per turn. I was gonna have him channel, but you know what? I think we can forego it for now in turn. Zacharias will destroy himself, attempting to retake the Silver Pinnacle. And yeah, I take it we can't build that sort of landmark thing that the dwarves have here. Man, the extremely fun time we had in the Malachi campaign defending the Silver Pinnacle against the endless stacks of the respawning undead was really fun. Dogma, A leadership +10 when fighting against demons of chaos versus rationality, diplomatic relations, Empire, Kislev, and Southern Realms. We'll take this, obviously, because we'll want additional trade. But let's give this a read. The unthinkable has occurred. We have uncovered a chaos cult in the very heart of the motherland. The blasphemers were summarily executed, but we must take drastic action to prevent such an infection occurring again. Yeah, chaos cults do have a tendency to pop up in Kislev. Rationality, please. Confederation, Western Provinces and Eastern River Lords. Confederation, Vissenland and Ulnan Ostermark. I take it that it's Ostermark that got the Confed, yeah. Okay. Ooh, will Draika then turn upon these guys, I wonder? I guess we'll have to see. Alright. Destroy this little army real quick. Yeah, once again, it's just too basic. We could heal up, but I think I'd rather take the money right now. Gotta fund that Temple of Ursun, and... Did your 2 zombies really survive forcing us this way? I'm almost tempted to hit Uskalak and the Chaos Doors from this way, but I still think that it's probably more valuable to take the Gormadny Mountains for ourselves. And then move down here. Just gotta keep an eye on the north. Alright, anyway, enemy killed in battle, Boydanov's Brawlers Streltsy. Nice. Frozen Heart of Winter. Did we hit level 12? No, that's level 10. We get an Elemental Bear at level 10? Damn. And the Wolfheart Sakshina Ambushers. The heck? Yeah. Okay, that's a lot at the same time. Damn, 5.2k to recruit the Elemental Bear and 852 upkeep. That's quite a bit, admittedly. These will be a little bit easier, though. We'll hold off on them for now, A, because we can't afford them, and B, because we want to transfer some of this stuff, but certainly something we'll want to do when we transfer. Alright, now auto-resolve this. And this time you can heal up. Now, there are piles of... Damn, it's a big old pile of gobos. But the thing is, I'm not sure that we really want to push on down here right now. And, ooh, I also do want to see Silver Pinnacle. What does this do for us? 2% income from all markets. Not a lot of income generated, surprisingly. Recruitment costs for Ice Guard. That's nice, but yeah, it'll be a while before the place grows to such a degree. We'll need to hit level 2 as fast as possible to get the breastworks up and running. Not a crazy amount of garrison, admittedly. But this is definitely going to be needed here. Yeah, alrighty. Yeah, I think we're... Hey, a Power Stone. And a Helm of Discord. Okay, some very nice pickups. A hero becomes a legend. Good for you, hero. Patriarch, you can have the Helm of Discord, because you're going to be in the middle of the blob. Then we'll give, I guess, the Power Stone to you, Tzarina Katarin, and the Scroll of Power to no one, because no one can hold it. You can now March Stance and start moving back through the mountains. Take a few turns to do this, and we'll hope that these guys don't immediately attack us. They are at war with Overlords of Jarduk. Okay, well, as long as they're at war with somebody else, they perhaps will not attack us. We'll see. Did that give us enough money, though? Yes, indeed it did. Beautiful. Temple of Ursun, control +2, growth +40, upkeep reduction in region, and upkeep for elemental bears, which will be nice once we get those special elemental bears up and running. Out of curiosity, wait 1 second. This gives us control and also upkeep and income, and this gives us the ability to recruit Zargard. Yeah, but we can start on this building once we're at tier 4, and then just go straight to Boca Palace level 2. I like this, it's just that... This gives us growth, and this does not, meaning I think this has to... the Temple of Ursun has to take priority. Anyway, Raziak, you are gonna get a, not a farmstead, but a market when we can afford it, which we cannot do so right now. Alright, that's fine. Diplomacy check. A little bit of admin in the early portion of this campaign. Ooh, trade agreement with Western Provinces? Yes, please. Yeah, a little bit of admin in the early portion of this particular episode rather than campaign. But that's just fine. And devotion's up to 86, so we should hopefully soon be able to get the motherland up and running. Alright, let's grow our econ a little bit while we move back, and then retrofit a little bit as well. And turn. Oh, Michaela, I forgot about you. Yeah, but you're still going where you're supposed to be going. Oh, look at that. The Wood Elves have taken care of Ziflin. Huh, wasn't expecting that. They're moving up north quite a bit. I wonder how they feel about us. They have a -50 aversion to Kislev. Not so great. I actually thought that maybe getting some Wood Elf allies wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Sort of combine them with the Hag armies, like the Tree spirits especially. And more so because we... Ha, okay, so they do attack us. That's funny. Call your allies to help. I wonder if we can give these territories to somebody down here. Alright, fine. Don't call your allies to help. And they'll move towards us. I guess Tzarina Katarin does still have some stuff to do down here. Might actually have to do the other stuff with the other army.
Twist into a squall. The Raven God is up to something. And no doubt the motherland will suffer.
Alright, the Crystal Cloak is available, or the quest is available. Oh my, that's a nice army. Doom Knights, regular Knights, we got Flamers, Screamers, Soul Grinders, and reinforcements expected. Okay, it'll be a fair bit before we can fight this army. Did you reach level 12? No. Okay, I guess that was a level 10 activation. Just really hoping for that rank 12. Who are you? Celestial Loyalists. Constructor. There's that Troll Country Pathfinder. Alright, then you are going to switch to ambush. Well, do caravans stop your ambush capabilities? Guess we're about to find out. I feel like they do. Oh, there's the army, or one of the armies. Well, if they're willing to fight, we're willing to fight them. Damn them for declaring war. Bit of a wrench into our plans, admittedly. Ice Court discipline, please, for that additional... well, then again, I guess we don't really need it. A moment. We can take something else then. Missile resistance for horse archers? Nah, it's not a big enough deal. War sled upgrade or reduction in stuff is not a big deal either. I think we were going to go for Iron Riverstone just for that construction cost reduction in general and for resource production. And then we'll go to Awaken the Land commandment after that, which would have us go through the Ice Court discipline anyway, so that's just fine. Alrighty, looks good to me. Vladimir, still nothing around you in terms of enemy armies, so we're looking okay. And Michaela, I'm gonna actually move you this time. Can you reach this place? Oh, you can't try to steal tech from this place. Let's hope she doesn't get wounded. We do need to level her on the way. Let's try it. Alright, come on, come on. I'm gonna be so salty if she dies. Hey, success. Alright, well done. Well done. It's only for 2 turns, but the 2 turns do reduce by 1 turn. Oh, that's fantastic. Save a turn. And just gotta keep her in the steel tech. Marienburg will likely fall to the Barrow Legion, but honestly, if the Empire loses a lot of stuff, we can take stuff for ourselves from them, since we can use temperate territories. Anyway, I was going to build another Patriarch. We cannot build one here, but we can build one here. Hero Self-Defense Chance, Wound Time versus another Shrewd Advisor. It doesn't really matter which kind we get, mostly because we're just sending him up to find Boris Ursa, so let's get you for now. They're all shrewd advisors now. Zavastra, I wanted to upgrade you to retrofit Katarin's army, but I guess it'll have to wait until this little faction dies. Alright, nothing to build here, and Karakrasiak. This time, we do have enough money to build the Market Square. We also now have the Motherland Invocation available. The question is, which do we do again? Once again, I like Salyak because of the additional growth, but the character rank increase is now a lot less likely than it was before. Fighting a battle is fine and gives us additional control. I do like 5 on occupying a settlement, assuming that we can occupy all 3 of these. Within those 10 turns, it'll be 15 followers. Physical resistance in own territory. And the unfortunate aspect of this is that the abilities are within our own territory, and the growth is potentially more valuable. Plus 300 growth means a much faster Kislev, and much faster Ice Guard. We definitely won't level 5 times in 10 turns. That's pretty much guaranteed, but nonetheless, I think the growth is more valuable. Plus, there's the casualty or punishment rate to consider as well, so I think we'll go Salyak. Salyak it is. Go. Alright, Motherland invoked. Alright, and I believe we're good to go again, so let us... Do we upgrade you now? I mean, the thing is, Tier 2 will give us additional control, but it doesn't give us any additional devotion or support, so I think we can forego it. Save money for the expensive stuff. Diplomacy, real quick check before we end the turn. Celestial Loyalists nearly ready for trade, but otherwise, no. Druzhina Enclave's still having a pretty tough time up here. But otherwise, we're looking okay. Alright, end the turn. Let's see what we've got. I saw that, I swear I saw that they had a second army up here, so let's see if they actually come back or whether they return to the Blasted Expanse. Suppose it doesn't matter because we'll be killing thousands upon thousands of gobos next turn either way. The only thing that would change potentially is if Ugrok falls for our ambush, which he does! Oh, those poor gobos. I think this will be fun, so we'll fight it, even though they're basic gobos, but there's just so many of them. Go. Alright, here we go. No speech because it's an ambush battle, but I don't imagine the battle will last long enough to make much of a speech. Anyway, we've deployed most of our army at the front of the column so that the enemy cannot escape, but have all of our armored Kossars guarding some regular Kossars up on this lovely hill where we can fire down upon them. As usual, our winged hussars are going to be absolute menaces and will charge right through the 4 goblin archers, or as best as we can do it with Tzarina's Fang in the lead. Go. And flying. Look at their HP. Look at the... Oh my lord, they all just sent flying and died. Oh, and we're charging through the archers into the goblins. 5 units lost 80% of their HP from a single charge. The winged hussars getting 92 kills and nearly 40,000 damage in like 10 seconds. Granted, these are only goblins and goblin archers at that, so you expect them to take massive damage like this, but that was pretty intense. Poor gobos. The other ones here at least will attempt to charge uphill, but the armored Kossars will stand against them with the lack of armor piercing on the regular gobos. They won't be able to get through. Now, obviously, this is going to be of no trouble to us because it's an ambush battle and because the enemy is using basic units, but we're using basic units as well at this point in time. This is early campaign after all, and neither us nor our enemies have yet teched towards advanced units. But we'll try to get to them as fast as we possibly can. Gotta enjoy these smaller battles while we can, and goblins are not to be underestimated. For those who remember the Grimgore campaign and in the old world there, the forest goblins. The forest goblins with a bunch of buffs became insanely strong despite being tier 1 units. At the end, they're racking up just crazy amounts of kills and doing insane amounts of damage as well between their poison and their capabilities. But anyway, with that, it looks like the enemy army will book it on out of there. I mean, their morale probably tanked as soon as half or a quarter of their army got deleted in 10 seconds by the charge of those glorious winged hussars, and now they're all gonna book it on out of here. And we should be able to catch up to most of them and destroy most of them with a relative ease, but we can do so off screen. Lovely. Alright, there we go. That was pretty horrifyingly effective with only 27 losses, but it was an ambush with all the advantages that confers, in addition to the fact that we had really great terrain for this particular army as well. Ooh, a war banner. Actually quite nice. Might put that on Tzarina Katarin herself eventually. For now, we'll give it to, I think, one of the Kossar units, because it gives them both weapon strength and reload time reduction. However, when Tzarina Katarin gets her big old war sled mount, that I think would be quite nice on her. Anyway, we can heal up essentially to full, but we're in our own territory, so it doesn't really matter, and I think we can get more mileage out of the money. And then move on to the Blasted Expanse. I didn't really expect to go this much into the Darklands at this time. I expected to move back through here, but this might make the campaign a little bit different than I was expecting, which is or can be, a pretty great thing. Veteran warrior, right? Alright, that's great. Defeat the following Lord's army, Gnash, Drippin' Fangs. I think we can manage that one, and this one might be auto-resolvable as well. What are we in terms of levels? 10? Alright, that's not bad. More importantly, though, Ursun's Roar, and then into Saliak's Lullaby immediately after it, which would be lovely. Gotta get that heal up and running. I hesitate to only have a single Patriarch as well, just because it might be nice to have two, but anyway, for now. Yegor Gospodarov, you are heading north towards Vorus in the hopes of finding him. I see Chaos Corruption is dropping in Monolith of Festerlung, which might mean that Vorus is likely to still be alive, as the only ones around here that reduce Chaos Corruption would be Malice Darkblade all the way up here, and Clan Ferric, but they're all the way down here, so it's probably not them. Alright, good job, Boris. Presumably, we can't see ya, but you gotta be there. To the Blasted Expanse, please. I certainly don't see another army from them. Alright. Decisive victory, casualties low. I think this one we cannot resolve. A little bit of damage on us, but now that we have the Patriarch here, we're a lot better positioned to do that. And ooh, we got Frostfang from that. There's no actual quest battle tied to it. That works. And income from post-battle loot will be nice. No level 12 as yet, but we're certainly drawing close to it. And I do love the upkeep production for the Lord's army as well. Alright, Ice Court dominates. The Ice Court has succeeded in drawing more supporters to its side. For now, the Great Orthodoxy has to acknowledge the supremacy of the Ice Court, but things may change in the future. Soon, all will acknowledge the supremacy of the Ice Court. Speaking of, just take a quick look at this. We've reached the first sort of thing, which means we get bonus control and some other stuff. Construction time reduction for 10% for settlement buildings? 50%. Alright. It'll be useful, and I guess we're going to give this a read as well. Frostfang was forged during the reign of Miska. As the blade was hammered into shape, ice witches cooled it with their magic, imbuing the blade with magical properties. While the sword has been held in the Boca arsenal for generations, it is said the true power of the blade can only be invoked when used by a Khan queen. Now that Katarin has ascended the throne, ready and eager to wield it in battle, it is surely but a matter of time before the Frostfang's true power stirs. The Ice Queen can awaken the blade by dominating her ancestral lands, just as the first Khan Queen did long ago. And that gave us plenty of cash. And so did defeating whatever that guy's name was. He will never be spoken of again. Anyway, let's give a few levels to the rest. You, I think, are gonna go for scouting now. And we don't have enough mana to be casting Blizzard and Hawks of Miska on you rather than Tzarina Katarin herself, so scouting will actually give us value due to the additional items that we pick up. Yes to Saliak's Lullaby, of course. And we'll probably max it out to be able to use it faster as well. And Tzarina Katarin, no points for you as yet. Alright. Yegor has moved. Let's see where we can spend our cash. Kislev, how close are we to tier 4? Not quite there yet, but should be reaching it relatively shortly, and then get Nice Guard operational. Temple of Ursun is going good. We can upgrade Fort Chikova to the next tier, and I think that we will. We have no construction cost reduction here, I take it. No, we don't. Alright, so we'll do that, town. And we still don't need to do anything at Zavastra. Alright, our recruitment costs are certainly dropping, which is nice. We'll be able to max out this army relatively shortly. But for now, we have to prioritize money. And it'll be expensive to upgrade Kislev to the next tier as well, so we have to keep that in mind. Next up, spend a little bit more money on stealing a little bit of tech. Oh, I don't like the 4% wounded. It makes me nervous. Please don't get wounded. Please. Please don't screw me on this. Okay, failure, but a level up, and that's fine. Oh, damn, these guys are doing good. Bretonia in shambles already, a little bit early for that, you'd think. You can have, I guess, Assassinate. Assassinate simply because if there are enemy heroes nearby that try to go after the tech thief there, might have to assassinate them. Otherwise, I don't generally like agent spamming, mostly because it's a hassle. But anyway. Plus, you can always out-agent spam the AI, which makes it always feel like, yeah, probably shouldn't. Masters of Innovation, Druzhina Enclave, everybody else is fine. We'll do the military access with you so that we can get a little bit more cash. At this point, basically, we just need to get as much cash from everybody that we can. And the faster we get our economy operational, the faster we can build our many themed armies. Anyway, Tzarina Katarin, you're good. Garrison Lord, building upgrade available. Which building upgrade available? I thought, oh, right, that thing. Okay, no, we can ignore that. Unassigned skill points ignored. Outpost available. Not spending 2,000 gold at the time. Not until we rack up quite a bit more stuff with the. I wanted to check the ally missions as well, but we don't have them at the current time. I fear that Skarsnik will declare war on us as soon as we take this territory, though. We're definitely going to probably have to build these places up as defensive locations. Let's immediately build the Stanitsa here at the Silver Pinnacle. What tier do we need to be to get defenses up and running? Tier 2. I think... Assuming that this entire territory will be walled, which it will, it certainly won't have room for both a church and a trade quorum, which is a bit of a shame. We could increase the growth by doing the farm estates here. We gain devotion and supporters from that in combination with the hallowed forest. Not a crazy amount of income, but it is additional growth. On the other hand, we'd still make quite a bit more money via the trade quorum. I'll think about it. It's not a key decision at the current time. Also, what do we have in terms of quests? Defeat any Chaos Army in battle. We're looking towards doing that eventually. Raid the following region, Plesk. Okay, sure. How close is Plesk? This is Prague, not Plesk. There we go. And then there's the Crystal Cloak battle, but that's a ways away, let's say. Alright, let's see what we got up next. Alright, there was also a couple of comments discussing what exactly Kislev is in terms of, let's see. Declare war on Sylvania. Now you can fight Sylvania, and if you die, we'll take your stuff. Kislev is in terms of its, cultural influences and all that stuff. Now, me, I'm not a history buff, embarrassing though it may be. I probably know Warhammer history much better than real history, but honestly at this point I'm committed. I'm in too deep, let's say, to change a sort of that. But anyway, Warhammer nations do tend to be a mix of a bunch of stuff together, though I think geographically, I'm pretty certain that Kislev takes the place of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, because if you look at the map of the Commonwealth at the time, it's basically identical to Kislev in every way. So Kislev itself and the Southern Oblast would be Ukraine. We'd have Belarus up here. Poland would be here and near Ostland, south of Erengrad, and then we'd have Lithuania and Latvia to the north of Erengrad, which I guess would make Azazel and his Slaneshi faction like Estonia or something. Suspicious. Estonians, I got my eyes on you. And then, of course, all over here would be the Eastern Oblast, which would be Russia. And then, assuming the Goromadny Mountains are an analog to the Ural Mountains, this would be a Russian part as well. That's just geographically, though. Generally, we've got a lot of, mixes here, so it's basically like pre-imperial Russia, i.e. Muscovy. Then we've got the Winged Lancers, which are about as Poland as you could probably think of. And now, Masters of Innovation have been destroyed. There goes one of our trading partners, but on the other hand, their territory would be something we'd probably be fighting over for a while. Anyway, then we got Prague, which is obviously the capital of Czechia, but geographically in the real world, Prague would be all the way down here with Czechia, but it's sort of transposed all the way up here. But, you know, it still speaks to the... Hey, Ulrika quest. It still speaks to the sort of mix of stuff. There's probably a bunch of other cultures and territories and stuff that I'm missing, but I'm not really well-versed enough in, 15 to 1700s Slavic history to point out which aspects of the culture are drawn from what. What Kislev really is you take a bunch of Slavic cultures, put them in a blender, and get a smattering of stereotypes mixed with a bunch of cultural hodgepodge kind of stuff, thought up by a few British guys without really too much research into the region. Then you take the coolest looking stuff from all the cultures that would someday give you really badass miniatures, and there you go, Kislev. It's really the Warhammer way. They do tend to do that for all factions. Bretonia being a mix of, for example, France and Dark Fantasy France, or just regular France, for the peasants at least, mixed with England stuff with a really big focus on Arthurian legends as well. Empire is basically just the Holy Roman Empire, but that's just generally how Warhammer does it. Anyway, I don't know why I decided to derail this campaign into this rant. Not really a lore rant, which is what I'm better versed in, but it's still interesting stuff. Anyway, the Golden Knight, kill enemies in battle, 1,500 enemies in battle. We'll give this a read once we do it, and we've been waiting to get the Golden Knight on the field, because Tzarina Katarin can't really fight fighty lords on her own, at least not easily. Not without her mounts, anyway, so this will be nice. Alright, let's head to the Desolation of Drakkenmoor, which we can reach from here, and then loop around to Howling Rock and hopefully destroy the faction. And hopefully without getting another war declaration upon us. Settlement auto-resolve.
The shield of the old.
Yeah, the auto-resolve really doesn't like the HUSSARS, but, you know.
It is mine.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Another hedge wizard. Okay, now we gotta check with that. We have a hedge wizard in every single one of our heroes here. And when I say in, Slaneshi giggle. Oh, you already have one. Okay, and they can't be given to lords, so that's just fine. Also, speaking of heroes, Yegor Gospodarov. Oh, these guys have Volksgrad. Good for them. And they are not at war with the Goromadny tribe, but that's fine. And the more territories they hold, the more territories we can confed. Throg? Oh, damn. Minus 1/3. Okay, we're probably not going to be able to get an alliance going with Throg. Let's face it, minus 130 is too much to overcome Wulfric, though, and maybe even Skeggi if they survive. Just thinking of potential Norscan options for acquiring ice trolls. Might be nice. Anyway, Vladimir Mikheyev. Do we start recruiting for now? I think we're still good. I mean, it's not like we have enemies nearby. I'm tempted to just move him a little bit closer to... I wish we could see a little bit further, maybe wait a turn. We want to move to Plesk and raid it for the quest. I don't see any reason not to. Anyway, what do we got here? 3%? Alright, try to steal tech again. It's really costing us a lot of money, but you've lost your steel techiness. And success, there we go. Dropping that turn, the extra turn from this stuff. While you're at sea, you won't have steel tech, which is a bit of an unfortunate aspect. We could maybe bounce around these territories for, like, a few turns until we rack up steel tech so that it would enable us to cross the sea. Though I suppose if Nakari's still alive, we could do that here as well. And he does seem to be alive, and doing decently. Hopefully Eltharion doesn't die. Alright, well, either way. Let's build some buildings and let's end the turn yet again. Southern Oblast. Karak Raziek, still no in the church, I think. And Kislev near that Temple of Ursun, and 9 turns until we got that Kislev trade city up and running. We might even have to build Ice Guard for Tzarina Katarin and sort of ferry them over like this. It might be the better way to do it. Just to get her up and running faster in that regard. Anyway, nothing else to build and upgrade. We've got these ready to be upgraded next turn or so. Gotta keep an eye on Draika, though. She could suddenly attack Vitevo, and there wouldn't be much we could do about it. Kind of concerned about it. You know what? Let's move you right to the edge of this. Wait, if you're in March stance, can you cross? It looks like you can. Is this Plesk? No, this is still Prague. Alright, fine. Then, I would like you to go into ambush stance. Right here. And this is still Prague, this is Plesk. Meaning you're gonna go right to the edge of this here. Obviously he can't fight a full stack with like less than half a stack, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Outpost available? No. Building upgrade? No. And turn. Well, we may not be crossing the mountains, but we are still getting time, sort of, to build up our settlements and for the enemies to do so as well. Elspeth, we didn't have a trade agreement with you? Oh, wow. Okay, did I check diplomacy this turn? Gotta double check that well, gotta double check it next turn, I guess. Alright, we good? Nobody can attack us? At least I don't think so. And Drippin' Fangs are... Wintertooth. And we're about to get into a fight with you, then. I guess the Gormani tribe got sufficiently heavily damaged by the Disciples of Hashut. Okay, well, not so good for them. Tzarina Katarin. Move to the edge of this territory, go into ambush stance, just in case, so that these guys don't run. And yeah, let them heal up and do whatever it is they're doing. Hopefully this will allow us to reach level 12, and ooh, they have a full stack. Oh, if they get into an ambush, it's gonna be too bad, so sad for that faction in general. Now, I would like you to move here. Do we see Throg? Can he attack us? I don't see him now, so it doesn't look like it. Okay, we're gonna have to march stance or regular stance into Plesk, like so. Alright, now we're in Plesk. Yes? Yes. We'll raid it next turn, and then we'll book it on out of there before we get killed. And then we'll start taking all this lovely, lovely territory from Throggy. How are we in terms of supporters? Looking okay. We get to that Confederation. And we have another Ataman available. Hello. Observant construction time for all buildings. Ooh. That's really nice, eh? Oh, that's our current Ataman. Oh! Oh, that's actually swell. That'll mean we can upgrade Kislev even faster. That was, well, that's good. Yeah, we're gonna go Observant, placate Daj. Ooh, it is the time of Daj, where the Ataman must think of home in reverence to the god of fire and sun. However, the desire to wander far from the hearth must also be considered. Should the Ataman shrug off his ceremonial role and risk resentment in his own community? No, placate Daj. Alright, beautiful. That'll certainly help with building all of these as well. Construction time. Alright, next. Tzarina Katarin is good. Mikhaila Fedokova. Back to Gisero, I think. Oh, damn, it's still 4%? This is still 3%, meaning we'll probably hit Kessel-Artois again.
Back to the road.
Be'lakor. Ooh, well, identifying Be'lakor might mean he'll declare war on us, but what can you do? Don't die. Okay, good. Another success. We got 3 turns now. Still costing us cash, but we can deal. Blasted Wastes. We'll start upgrading, I think, the Blasted Expanse first. We got Orthodoxy shrines everywhere here. I mean, it's not like we are going to expect this province to generate a ton of money right now, anyway. Igorov is probably the safest, so we'll start with Igorov. Damn, 4,000 gold just for a regular tier 3? Ouch. Heck of an expense, and we'll upgrade the tannery here as well. And then lastly, Northern World's Edge Mountains. We're going to start with Karakongor because it has the gold mine rather than Kazadirkulaz. And I think for now, while Tzarina Katarin's out of here, we'll switch to Awaken the Land as well. Diplomacy. Let's check you now. Marienburg wants to be friends. Sure. Give us money. Anybody else? Druzhina Enclave's still alive, shockingly. The AI might be programmed not to kill them as well. I think the don't kill them programming doesn't apply to minor factions generally, because, well, that's how minor factions tend to get destroyed and major factions tend to survive. End turn. Alright, Dusty, you gonna fall for this? You gonna fall for the exact same thing twice? He might send Gogrut forward rather than go with Dusty, which would mean the ambush would sort of fail in that it would kill Gogrut, but it wouldn't kill Dusty. Although obviously I'm speculating and I don't know why I'm bothering to when we only have a few seconds and... Okay, I didn't expect that. But he'll die. Nemesis Crown. Huh. Should we take the Nemesis Crown for ourselves, or should we seal it? The problem with the Nemesis Crown is it'll be a reduction in our relationship with all factions. On the other hand, it might be fun. Just sail over to Ulthuan and take the Sword of Cain as well. Ambusher discovered. Oh, it's this guy over here. Okay, no, we don't care about you. Technology researched. Icecade Collars, great for the Snow Leopards, though we only have the one, but that will change probably next episode. Kill Dusty. Oh, he's going to run far enough away that we won't be able to hit Howling Rock next turn. But oh well. He still has to die. Alright, another massive pile of goblins, medium casualties by virtue of the fact that it's not a ambush, but we haven't had a lot of fights in this particular episode, so I think we'll fight this one just for fun.
Kislev has faced worse than this rabble. The motherland endures!
Alrighty, the motherland endures, but perhaps the gobos are a little bit less likely to do so. Once again, a ton of gobos on the field. They've got a few more range units than we perhaps like, so they'll be able to fire back, but let's see how much of a menace Tzarina's Fang and the Winged Hussars can be. We've certainly seen them do ridiculous things as they charged forth before in the ambush battles, or ambush battle rather. And they'll send those gobos flying again, charging through 1, 2, 3, and soon to be 4 units. And dishing out massive amounts of damage with their charge once more. They have lost their momentum, so they can't quite easily make their way completely through an enemy unit. But they're still looking pretty good. Gotta remember these guys have the Rampager standard as well. Glorious charge when charging into an enemy unit. Charge bonus duration is doubled. Enemy units take leadership penalty if they have been attacked in the flank. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting indeed. Alright, and the menace continues. Having devastated the enemy flank, we will now head into the enemy line, or range line, where Tzarina Katarin and her Frost Maiden are distracting the enemy range units from preventing them from firing, only for the Winged Hussars to charge on through and back, and just repeat their cycle charging menace. In the meantime, the rest of our army has engaged with the Goblin main line, but armored Kossars and Kislevite warriors should be able to hold it just fine. Arrows arcing overhead, and the arrows might actually be more of a danger to us in some ways than the gobos are. And finally, we have the Patriarch working with us as well, so he can certainly heal up the units as needed on our main line. Lovely. Looks like the enemy has activated their WA, just a regular one, not a special one, since they're not led by a legendary lord. The enemy main line is still holding, but their range have completely collapsed under the administrations of the Winged Hussars, who are already at 500 kills to their names. More kills to be found, I'm sure, as we charge into the enemy charge into the rear of the enemy army as they're distracted by our Kossars, hammer and anvil, and then charge on out and into the next unit of gobos. Man, how much damage a single unit of decent cavalry can do in the early game when the enemy doesn't have too much in the way of units. Now, the enemy has moved a few more units into the forest here, attempting to flank us. We're going to send some Kislevite warriors to deal with them. At the very least, the enemy Gobbo archers should stand no chance, though there are more Gobbos in here as well. And it is appropriate, it feels, to be fighting goblins in the forests. Perhaps it should be forest goblins, but nonetheless. And it's good for us that it isn't, as we don't have to deal with all that poison that those guys do apply. Anyway, it looks like the enemy army is down to about a sliver of bounce of power remaining. The Kislevite warriors have done decent work attacking the 2 units of goblins here, with a little bit of support from the guns of these armored Kossars, who have actually run out of ammunition. Gotta be careful with these guys, though, because they are not shielded. Even though they're armored, they are very, very fragile and liable to take a lot of damage if attacked. Fortunately, it won't matter all that much in this particular battle, as the last of the enemy Gobbos will rout, the enemy lord attacked by Tzarina Katarin will shatter, and the battle, once again, is ours. Lovely. And in the background, the Winged Hussars continue to be absolute menaces. We're definitely keeping that unit around. They've been too heroic in this particular campaign. Anyway, we got units to chase, but once again, off-screen. Good lord, the Winged Hussars are cleaning house. 1,307 kills, 113,000 damage. That's that's pretty insane. 2,303 kills overall for the entire army. This one unit of cav got the most. It's not even like a crazy strong unit of cav or anything. It's just a damn. They've been really instrumental to our victories throughout this campaign so far. Really impressed with them, and they'll definitely have to be kept for the duration of the campaign. 113,000 damage. Those are some intense charges. Anyway, we'll take the money because we're stuck in our own territory until we can hit the Blasted Expanse, or the Howling Rock, rather, over the next turn. I'm going to go into March Stance and put you right here, just a little bit closer to the place, because I'm not 100% sure whether we'd be able to reach it from here to there. This guy might run away, but, well, not much we can do about that. Kislevite Kossar, finally. We get these on the Empire. I'm surprised we hadn't found any for the Ice Court so far. We'll give the Kislevite Kossar to Tzarina Katarin herself, however, and ooh, the Golden Knight. The Golden Knight is Kislev's living symbol of unification between church and state, the greatest living warrior in Kislevite soldiery, whose sacred duty is to ensure the peace and sanctity of Kislev's lands, regardless of politics or bureaucracy. The current incumbent would be a powerful ally indeed, the daughter of a notable fallen companion of Boris Ursus himself, and a warrior of grim determination. Nariska Lesa, who takes notice of those who display martial supremacy in the motherland's eternal fight. Lovely. And Royal Barracks rather. Ah, damn, that's the Zargard building. Okay, we're gonna have to build that somewhere, just for the quest if nothing else, and I'll give this a read later. Alright, next. Ah, that didn't reach us level 12. But we should still be able to make it to that this episode, as we'll hit Howling Rock. You, sir, can also have another point in Saliak's Lullaby. Ooh. Replenish troops first, Saliak's Lullaby second. Troops gotta be replenished after all. Alright, what else do we have to do this particular turn, without getting caught up in all that goblin killing? Also, is there any ancillary that would be useful to you? Like something that would make you less likely to get killed? Campaign line of sight and Akshina Informer? No, it doesn't look like it. Alright. Alright, well then that's fine. You can steel tech at Langui. And frankly, what? Kurun has already fallen? Good lord. Bretonia. Absolute shambles. Okay, well, you know what? Assuming that the Empire fails to take this, it does mean that we could sail a force over here and take this stuff for ourselves. Interesting. Might have to go after Crooked Moon as well, depending on how well they do against Karazukarek. And oh, by the looks of it, they're doing quite good. The Pillars of Grungni, the Silver Road is already in trouble. What the heck? Everybody around us is being an abject failure. Not necessarily a bad thing where us taking lands is concerned, but still, damn. Anyway, Yegor, Gospodarov, all the way to Boris Ursus, please. Should I have gone by land instead? No, it's too late now. It's too late now. You, sir, a raid for a single turn. Double check that you're in Plesk. Yes. Alright. Probably cost us more money than we gain from it, but it bothers me that that quest is up and running. Anyway, Fort Jakova is still looking good. Northern World's Edge Mountains. Still disinclined to bother upgrading the Orthodoxy Chapel until we need more Patriarchs. I think the money would be more valuable to us, especially since we need to build defenses all over the place in the Blasted Wastes. And Kislev needs to be upgraded in a mere 6 turns. Good. Alright, skip. Outpost available, and how many more turns do we have of this? 6. Okay, that's not so bad. Damn, it's up to 104 now. Gotta get that devotion, end turn. Gogrut, will you stay or will you go? Vladimir will raid. I'm a little bit nervous about this guy moving to Volksgrad, mostly because then they'd start taking territory from Throg. On the other hand, I'd say that confederation with them is an inevitability, meaning all this territory will belong to us anyway. All your Isar belong to us. Upkeep production for Griffin Legion, nice. We'll definitely build a Griffin Legion-focused army. Tribute to Ursun, good. And hello. Faction destroyed Kurun. Yeah, I had a feeling that that was coming. Balalaika of the Arari. Melee defense and melee attack +5 in an area. It's not bad. Upgrade any settlement to 5. Okay, that's gonna be a while, but it'll be Kislev most likely that does so. Back here. To Kislev itself you shall go. And Kislev. I guess Purge the Steppes is no longer super necessary. Switch to Awaken the Land for a little bit more cash. Yeah, ooh, more market upgrades. Trade quorum, yes. Iron smelter, yes. And... okay, nothing here. Yes to the market. And... we'll do the gem mining shaft first. We'll still need defenses, but we should be able to get it up to tier 3 relatively quickly, so hopefully it won't matter. Tzarina Katarin, that other unit did run away, the little army did run away, but we still take Howling Rock regardless. Really? I guess they do have 4 boar boys. Is this a settlement battle? Is that why? No, it's a minor settlement fight, okay. It's okay. We can deal with needing to upgrade that army relatively soon. Only a few turns until we can get access to Ice Guard after all. Alrighty. Michaela. I guess you're gonna keep stealing tech. So 2 Kuhan. Still 2%. Bellicor is still here. Please don't die on 2%. Success. Very nice. And you got a Warhorse, but you need it not. Because you're a field agent. Specialist boost income, I guess. Ooh, wait. Is there anything here that would help you on the field? Cooldown. Winds of Magic. I mean, there is stuff that would help you on the field. Oh, hidden paths. Okay, we can get that at rank 10, but yeah, you know what? Assuming that we need to hold the point at rank 9 then. Yeah. And Scholar will give us additional steel tech capabilities. Lovely. We'll need more tech thieves as well. Might have to start training another Frost Witch, Ice Witch, Ice Maiden, Frost Maid. God. Alright, and we'll need a caster in this army as well, though, so, yeah. Alright, the rest of that looks fine to me, minus whatever we're missing at Fort Jakova, and then we fight yet again. I think we build the Royal Barracks and then delete it. We're not going to keep it here, because it's not a great investment at the current time, and we'll need defenses here, because the Chaos Dwarves will come for us. However, just to get the... Golden Knight up and running faster, Khazad class is going to be a while before it gets upgraded. Oh, I suppose we could do the same at Fort Jakova and build defenses there. It's safer. Yeah, fine. We can do that at Fort Jakova then. Which shouldn't need defenses, at least not as much. Alright, fine. And we'll probably still delete it, but yeah. Oh, I had Fort Jakova selected anyway. Yeah. Alright, that's appropriate. I was thinking I had the Silver Pinnacle selected. Anyway, Tzarina Katarin, it's time to hit rank 12. As long as you win this, and win this you shall go.
I will not brook cowardice, hesitation, or failure. Fight until your last breath!
Alrighty, and it looks like the enemy does have that summoning ability here, so a free unit of Orc Biggins added to the roster. The auto-resolve was already saying this would be, I believe, a Valiant... wait. A Pyrrhic victory, I think it said, but with the additional Biggins, it should be a little bit tougher as well. That said, the enemy units aren't going to be the biggest threats here. The Catapult Tower, with its explosive damage, and the fact that this is an SFO tower, is going to be quite the thing to deal with, as these guys attempt to hold the choke point and prevent us from grabbing this minor supply location, which is going to be the key thing that or the key objective that we're gonna go after. Forward, everybody, in a column as far as you can go, while we send in once again the Tzarina's Fang and the Winged Hussars to act on their own. It's going to be a little bit tougher here because, unlike the previous battles, it's not really goblins that stand against us, it's primarily orcs, and these guys don't have enough mass by the looks of it to easily be able to charge through a unit of orc boys, and thus the issue will probably be the same for dealing with orc archers or orc arrow boys rather than goblin archers. That said, we'll do our best to charge on through into other units, arc arrow boys here and there, and we should still be able to do decent damage to them. Just gotta try to maintain distance from those orc boar boys. Out here, the first of the enemy units, a unit of Biggins, has moved in, but with the combined fire from our Hussars, armored and unarmored alike, as well as damage from the 3 heroes here. And it looks like these guys are running. That said, they've only just begun as more orcs are making their way forward. At least over on this side, and the towers keep firing on us as well. Have started to take a little bit of damage from the enemy towers. These Hussars have lost about 30% of their HP, and these ones about 20. And got to make sure to rip our way through the enemies just a bit faster. Unless those towers start racking up those kills. On the bright side, though, the choke point works against the enemy almost as well as it works against us in this particular case. Generally speaking, if it weren't for the towers attacking us, it would be in our favor, but the towers do more damage, I think, than we do. So we got to step it up, kick it up a notch, get those spells coming down. The Frost Maiden's Kiss followed by a Hailstorm on the biggest blob of enemies we can find, to hopefully reduce their numbers, or if not their numbers, at least their HP. Keep on firing and keep on marching forward here. We've been forced to back out with the Winged Hussars, who lost about a third of their number as they got surrounded by, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. Getting a little bit arrogant with these guys as they've been so heroic throughout this campaign, and especially this particular episode as well. Definitely gotta keep them alive. Nice bound ability activation from Tzarina Katarin with those icy shards coming up from the ground. I forgot what this ability was called. Oh, that's the Frostfang ability, and so the ability itself is called Frostfang as well. And dishing out a decent bit of damage. 15.6k on Tzarina Katarin so far. And hopefully more as we move forward. But move forward we must. We gotta get to that minor supply location to stop those darn towers from firing. We've got the armored Hussars here down to half of their HP. And every shot from that explosive catapult tower is going to be more damage. If you're wondering why I didn't bother attacking the tower with our range units, it's partly because the buildings are kind of shielding it, and partly because, as we saw with the previous episode's attack on an enemy miner settlement, it's really quite tough to knock these towers out with only Hussars. With only Hussars or basic archer units, generally speaking. The vanilla towers go down real easy to spam missile fire, but I guess the buildings have a lot more defensive or better defensive stats in SFO as well. Anyway, another ice sheet comes down while the two frost witches go after the orc shaman here. Can't have him casting anymore. We're also moving our snow leopards, since there are too many units down here, to try to help against the enemy orc shaman, as we have pretty much as many units as we can fighting over here. Definitely got to knock out that shaman, though. He's got 77 kills on him, primarily through spamming and Gaze of Mork. I don't know if he managed to get a brain burst off, but I did see Gaze of Mork come down repeatedly. Fortunately, even if these guys aren't really meant for fighting single entities, there's enough of them to bring the Orc Shaman down while we continue making our way towards the minor supply location. Another Frost Maiden's Kiss comes down through those Orc Biggins as the range units take pot shots into their backs, and it looks like we finally managed to capture the minor supply location with these 4 units on top of it. Catapult Tower and regular tower are now gone, though once again they've done plenty of damage to our units back here. A lot more, I would say, than the enemy army has. These guys have been taking damage to the enemy Orc Error Boys, though. 5 kills on them, but 4.5 HP damage, 4.5k HP damage, which is pretty solid. I think in terms of army compositions, we might do a combined Hussar and Akshina Ambusher army for our northern army. We got to get another army up on the field. I know it'll slow down our economy a little bit, but it would be nice to have another army fighting. I guess the only issue is if it's another army that's full of Hussars, it'll fight relatively similarly to this army. At least in the early game, until we can replace a bunch of stuff. But once again, early campaigns are always like this, and I really enjoy the smaller battles with basic units, as they all take a long time to die and to kill each other off. Anyway, now we're getting a little bit of a range unit duel. We have the high ground, fortunately, and are thus beating the Orc Boys, generally speaking, or Orc Error Boys, generally speaking, though we gotta get some units in here, and it's time to send the Winged Hussars back into combat. They are lower in number, and they no longer have the Snow Leopard sort of leading their charge, acting as the tip of their spear, but that's alright. Should certainly be enough to rip some Orc Error Boys apart. And it's better than allowing them to have an artillery duel with our Kossars, or artillery, range duel with our Kossars, as the Kossars are quite fragile. And there we go, and it looks like those Orc Arrow boys, oh, they're still steady, they're still fresh, but they have lost HP and numbers already, and it doesn't look like they stand much of a chance against the Winged Hussars. Can't wait to get Griffin Legion on the field as well. Griffin Legion aesthetics are just absolutely fantastic. The Golden Knight has the same sort of aesthetics, and I do wish that you could have infantry units with the same kind of getups, just like a glorious golden army with the Golden Knight and the Griffin Legion, and then some infantry, some, I don't know, ground infantry added. Just because that armor and those aesthetics are too good to only apply to effectively one unit. But anyway, also, that's Emperor approved, because of all the gold. Anyway, it looks like the balance of power has shifted to about 90% in our favor. I'm going to speed it up a little bit as we march forward, and ooh, this is a good example. We can see the Orc Arrow boys just took about 10% of the HP off of the armored Kossar units. Gotta remember that these guys don't have shields, and the Orc Arrow boys, because of their strength, have a lot more armor-piercing missile damage than regular Gobbo archers do, so they're certainly dishing it out. And maybe these guys can do a little bit of a brief shootout, pistols versus arrows. I don't know who is favored in this particular shootout. I'd probably give it to regular armored Kossars because of their shields, but these guys have now lost about 30% of their HP, and they're doing a lot less damage to the Orc Arrow boys. We'd be a lot better off just charging them into melee, but I was curious as to how they would perform against each other. And it's always worth experimenting in this manner. Alrighty, man, the grass has been stained with blood, though it's kind of ruddy colored anyway. And here we go. We're going to back up those armored Kossars. The experiment has cost them about half of their HP, and send some Kislevite warriors forward, to bog down these enemy units of Boar Boys, while our Zargard support with range fire overhead, or not Zargard, Ice Guard support with range fire overhead, and the other two units of Kislevite warriors charge the Orc Arrow boys back here, blocking them and allowing the Winged Hussars to once again enter the fray. Very nice. Once those Arrow boys have routed, we can have all of these units charge into the back of these Boar boys, though they're probably having a tough time getting through the anti-large Kislevite warriors, especially with the Cavalry Bane debuff that they apply, and the acceleration and charge bonus reduction. And of course the frostbite from the frost arrows of the Ice Guard. And there we go. All of our range units are up on those hills now. Unfortunately, this is a map wherein it's difficult to get back here. We'd have to go all the way back here, because there's no way to get up here. You'd have to go like this, like Tzarina Katarin and these guys traveled. But there's no need to go that far, as with these units nearly destroyed, we should be just about good. The Winged Hussars have found themselves yet another unit of our Arrow boys to bring down. And the Arrow boys aren't strong enough in melee to contend with the Lancers. And there we go, the Arrow boys will book it on out of there, and I'm sure the Boar boys are looking to turn now as well, surrounded as they are by Kislevite warriors. And there we go. With that, the Boar boys shatter, the balance of power shifts to 100% in our favor, and the enemy army will break. And the settlement is ours. Very nice battle. Once again, gotta love these minor settlements fights. Alrighty, there we go. Gotta love how in SFO all the minor settlement battles tend to take actual effort. The towers are particularly nasty, having taken out about 40% of the HP off of the armored Kossars, and quite a bit more HP that wasn't recovered, or that was rather recovered post-battle as well. And definitely have to watch out for those. SFO does this thing where it forces the towers to sort of arc over stuff, meaning they can basically fire wherever they're located. The problem with towers characters in vanilla is that they tend to be blocked in a lot of firing angles, and it makes them a lot weaker, generally speaking. Anyway, that should knock this faction out. We're going to occupy the place and recruit rank +1 for cavalry. Not for this army, but it'll be nice. And ooh, Watchmen in the Night Armored HUSSARS. I think those ones we will put in Tzarina Katarin's army, like right now. Granted, they won't stay in her army, but it'll be a bit before we replace them anyway. And oh, they have the Gates of Jar. Man, meaning we have to go all the way down here as well. Damn, and what's the likelihood that the Skaven declare war on us as well? Clan Rictus, I mean. Oh! Though the Clan Rictus defeat trait is actually really good in SFO because it's army-wide speed as opposed to just hero or lord speed, rather, that it is in vanilla, so it's certainly something to consider. I think perhaps we don't take the Gates of Jar, we just raise it, or wait, you guys are willing to give us 3,000 gold to peace out. I think we do that, just to not bother going south here. And we'd rather push up north and... Oh, damn, Gringor's arrived. He is doing quite well here. Huh. Well, I guess we'll have to declare war on Grimgor earlier than I thought as well. At least the Chaos Thrower should enjoy that. But anyway, Drip and Fangs, you may try to retake your stuff, but I fear that you won't be able to succeed. We will propose the peace with you. It's a decent amount of cash. More importantly than that, that did reach to... Ooh, hello, Howling Rock. Palisade, 2,000 gold. Quite steep, but what can you do? Purge the steps for now for the campaign movement range increase, and go for the Palisade. Glad that we took it at tier 2. Not so glad that I don't want to reduce or remove the Orthodoxy Chapel, though. I mean, the faster we get this, the better. We could delete a bunch of the chapels afterwards. We'll still need devotion, but we won't need the followers at that point. But anyway, as I was saying, Ice Mistress gives us Winds of Magic cost for all spells and cooldown for Lure of Ice, but also reduces the Winds of Magic cost particularly for Heart of Winter, Crystal Sanctuary, and Death Frost. I'm not a big fan of Death Frost, at least not in vanilla. I wonder if it's a little bit better in SFO. Ooh. You have Guardian Call as well. Free Snow Leopard. Damn, lots of potential. But anyway, Embodiment of Winter buffs up Tzarina Katarin herself rather, but gives us Biting Wind. I think the most important thing out of these is to take Con Queen for the additional devotion for the control +2 for all provinces. Shield of Ice gives us ward save 10% for the entire army, so we want to get that immediately. So we'll have to wait for Guardian Call for the... future level ups. Gust of True Flight, speed increase. I guess the buffs for the Ice Guard aren't super necessary right now, so we'll do 1 point in Embodiment of Winter. Oh. Decent weapon strength upgrade as well. I'm going to say Gust of True Flight is more useful on an all-ranged army, or mostly ranged army so far. So we'll do Frost Affinity into Shield of Ice first to get the ward save and additional Winds of Magic cost reduction for all spells. Once again, even though we have another Frost Mage here, Frost Maiden rather, it'll mostly be Tzarina Katarin casting stuff. Because she just has a cheaper, and she's much less likely to miscast. Guardian Call available for you as well. Lovely. What does a tier 3 variant do? Summoned unit has a greatly increased melee attack and melee defense. Oh, I was hoping that the 3rd tier would prevent it from degrading, which would be nice, but oh well. And Saliak's Lullaby now available, so we'll get that. Beautiful. Alright, we're at peace with these guys. We can now move north to these territories and start taking the Icy Realm. And back here, these guys have still not lost Erengrad. Good for them. And hopefully they build some of these special buildings as well. Though the AI has a bad tendency to just straight up ignore them fairly often. Anyway, folks, with that, we are very much out of time. As usual, I lose track of it when I'm having fun, and having fun I am. Next time, we push up north, start fighting with Grimgor, and probably begin our retrofits. We'll also summon our first regiments of renown, the Watchmen in the Night, as we probably move here, just to not lose the extra 322 gold. So we'll wait until we move. And we'll probably start, now that we're making some okay amounts of cash, we'll probably recruit enough units of HUSSARS in this army so that it can essentially function as a basic HUSSAR army, mind you, but so that it can still take territories without Tzarina Katarin having to do all the work for the faction. Anyway, more Ice Court to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to Threshold. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.